friends, John Quincy Adams was the sixth president of the United States, and here's what he said about Islam. I quote, "The precept of the Koran is perpetual war against all who deny that Mohammad is the prophet of God. The vanquished may purchase their lives by the payment of tribute. The victorious may be appeased by a false and delusive promise of peace. And the faithful follower of the prophet may submit to the imperious necessities of defeat. But the command to propagate the Moslem creed by the sword is always obligatory when it can be made effective. The commands of the prophet may be performed alike by fraud or by force." My name's Howard Riell, and this is Riell Truth. You're listening to the American Freedom Network, streaming live around the world at AmericanNewsNet.com and on Facebook and YouTube and Tumblr and in the book Riell Truth, Stay Angry. And of course, as always, broadcasting out across the Colorado Front Range on KHNC, Johnstown, Colorado, 1360 AM, The Lion. Our call-in number is 877-254-7524. My friends, welcome back. I was gone yesterday. I apologize. Let's hit it, because we got a president who's out making great strides on behalf of Islam and other assorted enemies of America. Item from shoebat.com. In yet another brazen speech, President Obama lavishly praised Islam and condemned those who criticize Islam, saying their rhetoric is, quote, inexcusable and has no place in the U.S. Since 9/11, but more recently, since the attacks in Paris and San Bernardino, you've seen too often people conflating the horrific acts of terrorism with the beliefs of an entire faith, said the president. And of course, recently we've heard inexcusable political rhetoric against American Muslims that has no place in our country. The president went on to say the following. Let's start with this fact. For more than 1,000 years, people have been drawn to Islam's message of peace. Let's stop right there. Yeah, we're going to stop right there. This show is called Riell Truth, and when I'm stared in the face by a lie, I've got to stop. Islam's message of peace. Well, here's the real truth, pun intended. If you look at the history of Islam over 1,400 years, they've basically not had peace, because they have always been at war, either with non-Muslims or with other Muslims. A constant state of war, which is not surprising because their holy book commands them to wage ongoing war in the name of Allah. But here's what the president says. Quote, "If we're serious about freedom of religion, I'm speaking to my fellow Christians who remain the majority in this country, we have to understand an attack on one faith is an attack on all our faiths. Stop. No one's accusing Jews, Christians, Buddhists of terrorism. Only accusing Muslims of terror, and the reason we're only accusing Muslims of terror is because only Islam propagates terror." The president continued, "When any religious group is targeted, we all have a responsibility to speak up. We have to reject the politics that seeks to manipulate prejudice or bias and targets people because of religion. We've got to make sure the hate crimes are punished and civil rights of all Americans are upheld." Stop. Wrong. We have to make sure all Americans don't commit acts of terror. And if they do, they need to be flushed out of the system. Related item from Breitbart. Wednesday on Hewitt's radio show, former Governor Jeb Bush offered his thoughts on President Barack Obama's speech at the Islamic Society of Baltimore earlier in the day. Bush praised Obama for making the speech, despite not having seen it. The former Florida governor called it important and appropriate, unquote. My friends, it's a coincidence that Jeb Bush should use the words important and appropriate, because Jeb Bush is neither important nor appropriate. He is a zero. He is a nothing. And the sooner he drops out of the race, the better I'll be able to digest my food in peace. Item from news.vice.com. While the assumption is that refugees should find jobs in order to improve their income, it might not be quite that easy. Statistics from December 2015 show that depending on the province, talking about Canada, the employment rate for immigrants sits between 56% and 80% in Canadian cities, unquote. So my friends, I got a question for you. If roughly half of immigrants will come here and be unemployed, why would Canada take immigrants. Because those half, that 56% who's coming in to Canada, go immediately on welfare. So in other words, Canada is importing welfare cases, importing debt, importing takers rather than makers. And again, my question is why? Forget Canada. Why would any country on God's green earth intentionally bring in people who go right to welfare? People who can bring nothing positive to build the country or sustain the country, but people who immediately want to weaken the country's economy and give nothing in return. It's a fair question, right? Because there are countries all over the globe today that are doing exactly that. America's doing that. Germany's doing that. Now Germany is gushing blood as a result of the hundreds of thousands, over a million. The number I saw recently was 1.1 million Muslim immigrants it brought in, who are molesting and raping women, going right on welfare, not being able to work, not assimilating, not doing anything. And so Angela Merkel, the confused ignoramus who runs Germany, got on a microphone a day or two ago and said, by the way, we invited you Muslims here, but not permanently. I don't know what the German word is for schmuck. It's probably not too different from schmuck, because I think that's a Yiddish word. But Angela Merkel is a fool, and the people who support her are fools, because Germany is now dying. I will shed no tears. But Germany is dying, and the lesson is important. It's important for America, important for Canada, important for the whole world. When you bring in third world peasant cultures who can contribute nothing positive, but only negative in the form of crime, in the form of bias, in the form of lack of respect for women, in the form of racial and religious hatred. When you import disaster, the result must be disaster. Now we're going to choose a president. Jeb Bush obviously is a fool, so he's out of the race with his about 3%. But we've got a candidate out there who's talking about not only preventing Muslims from coming to America, but by getting rid of all the illegals who are here, getting rid of the Syrian refugees. As far as I'm concerned, there's only one choice. It's Thursday, and it's Riell Truth. I got a good show for you today. We're going to be back. Go nowhere.
Howdy, folks. Have you ever thought about having your own backyard chickens? Now you have a source for certified organic, no GMO, no soy chicken feed. HappyHens.biz can even deliver, or you can pick up. Call me, Tim, at 303-829-5948, or go to happyhens.biz for pricing and ingredients. At happyhens.biz, we love happyhens.biz, or call us at 303-829-5948. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tom Phillips, founder of the Green Earth. How many times have you gone into a health food store and are confused as to the many different brands and prices on the same herbal supplements? You want to buy the cheapest, but you're afraid that quality is less, so you buy the most expensive. Truth is, the cheapest may be better. Green Earth herbal supplements are all manufactured in our Wheat Ridge, Colorado plant at 4565 Kipling Street using the highest quality herb that we source from all over the world. Our 150 different herbal supplements are the most potent and safest in America. Our guarantee is your money back, no time limit, just return the bottle empty or full, no questions asked. So when you come to our new location, look for our new name, New Genesis Health, or call us at 888-765-HERB, that's 888-765-4372.
The Lord brings the counsel of the nations to nothing. He makes the plans of the people of no effect. The counsel of the Lord stands forever, the plans of his heart to all generations. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, the people he has chosen as his own inheritance. Psalm 33, verses 10 through 12.
All right, guys, welcome back to Riell Truth. I am Howard Riell, and the question before us is ignorance. That's the question. What'd you say? There's no question mark there? Very good. So you're not ignorant. You're sharp. You'll listen to me. 2 video clips now. The common thread between them is ignorance. First has to do with college students. God help us. Second has to do with voters. God help us. Listen up.
Hello everyone, I'm Courtney Plunk with Polytech. We're here on our home campus at Texas Tech to see just how much our fellow students know about their country. Who won the Civil War?
Who won the Civil War?
We did? The South?
Like the one in 1965 or what Civil War?
Who won it? Who was even in it?
Who was in it? Just tell me who was in it. Oh, I don't know. Why do you have to do this?
Who won the Civil War?
Yeah, oh my god. Hey, I'm drawing a blank for those things. I feel like I'm on the Jimmy Kimmel show. America? I don't know. That's the Confederates, right?
Now, my friends, as you listen to this disaster, college students unable to answer the question, who won the Civil War, keep in mind, these guys are voters. They're over 18. They're going to be helping select the next president. They're going to vote in all the elections there in Texas. And they're bone density ignorant. Who won the Civil War is a question they cannot answer. Also, by the way, I'm an old geezer, I think, as a parent. If I'm a parent, I'm calling that school and asking for a refund. Kids college age don't know who won the Civil War, and you're taking my money in tuition? Let's keep listening because it gets even more tragic.
I have no clue.
The Union. The North. Yes. Okay. Okay. So who is our vice president?
Don't know. I have no idea.
Right now? I don't know.
What's his name? Oh my gosh. I have his name in my space in my head. Who is the vice president? Is that like a trick question?
Nope.
Okay. I don't know. I have no idea. Don't know.
Joe Biden.
Yes. I don't know.
You're not the only one. A lot of people don't know.
No, I still feel.
Okay, who did we gain our independence from?
These are horrible.
I have no idea. Do you know what year we happened to?
Absolutely not. I couldn't tell you.
It's like 1677 or something like that. And what show is Snooki on?
Jersey Shore.
What show is Snooki on?
The Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore.
And then who is Brad Pitt married to?
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie. And who was he married to before that?
I think it was Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, my friends, I understand you want to laugh. All right, go ahead and laugh. Get out of your way because I am not laughing. It tells you volumes about American culture. Here are kids in college. Don't know who won the Civil War. Don't know from whom the United States won its independence. Don't know the name of the vice president, but they know who Snooki is and what show she was on. They know who Brad Pitt was married to, who he was married to before. My friends, what the hell? What the hell has happened to America? This is a big thing. You should be every bit as upset as I am. Talk about dumbing down the populace. These idiots are going to be voting. They're going to be voting for whack jobs like Bernie Sanders because they're college students, they're young, they're ignorant, they're liberal. They may vote for Hillary Clinton because they're especially ignorant. And they know nothing. We are not teaching them anything. It is absolutely shameful. I got a caller on the line. Caller, you with us today? Who is that?
Hi, Howard. I'm Kevin.
Is that Kevin? How you doing? What's up?
Howard.
Yeah, what's going on?
Howard.
I'm here. Talk to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you mentioned it's Obama's trip to Baltimore for the month.
Right.
And on another show, they asked, what was the purpose? I'll tell you the purpose. You said it.
Okay.
A high majority of Hispanics, blacks, and Asians are going to go Republican. But very few Muslims are going to go Republican. So Obama has to double down on the Muslim vote.
All right, makes sense.
Okay, now think of when he said when Christians, what they committed centuries ago. What were the Muslims doing back then? Were they doing what we're doing now, trying to talk Christians out of killing people? No, they were killing more people.
Right.
And then come along Christ. What did he? The Muslims have been living by the sword since the dawn of time. And look at the Saudi Arabia flag has the sword on. Christ said, you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Absolutely right. Like I said before, there's never been a time in its 1,400-year history that Islam was not at war with somebody.
Yes, and those are the dark ages. But most people have changed, but most Muslims haven't.
So, what is the Muslim contribution to America that Barack Obama goes on endlessly about? You tell me.
Well, Howard, I'm sure they contributed something, but it was far less than the majority of the planet contributed.
Well, I'm not so sure they've contributed anything. If there's something positive out there, someone should be able to tell me what it is.
Well, you might be right, because I can't think of anything.
I don't know. All right. Well, listen, thanks very much for the call. I appreciate you listening.
Okay, Howard, you have a great day.
You too, sir. Okay, thank you very much. My friends, you see, the point that I make all the time is that the people who listen to Riell Truth are an informed, sharp, intelligent group of people in direct contradistinction to these empty-headed college students you're listening to, and in direct contradistinction to this chick I'm about to play on this video. She's at a Donald Trump rally, and she's going to interrupt what he's saying to ask him a question. What she's going to ask is pitifully ignorant. If I can get my computer to play this video, it's a terrible, ridiculous question that no one who listens to this show would ever ask. Let's listen to it. And Donald Trump, he doesn't give her a politician's answer. He shuts her down in no uncertain terms, which is one of the reasons I love him. Let's listen. That's your cue, Donald. I'm hitting your play button, boy. Start talking to me, my friends. You know my track. You know my track record with technology. Hang on one Hang on 1 second. All right. If this video doesn't come up in the next couple of seconds, I'm going to scotch it. But she is going to say something profoundly ignorant. All right. What she's going to say, she's going to interrupt Donald Trump and say that illegal aliens are the backbone of this country. Now I know you are as shocked and appalled as I am to think that anyone could say anything so brainless, especially someone who's planning on voting. And yet that's exactly what she said. Let me try again with this video. Hang on now. I'm crossing my fingers and my toes. Let's see if I can get this to work. It's a good thing I pray every day. Is it going to work? Here we go. Is it going to work? Anyway, she says that illegal aliens are the backbone of this nation. Now, obviously, that's stupidity. Obviously, it is a liberalism run wild. Obviously,
yes, ma'am. Go ahead. You live in Southern California.
Come on.
What are you doing here? Are you a liberal Democrat by any chance?
All right, hang on. It's coming. He's listening. Trump is listening to the question. And this woman is getting loud applause.
Say it a little louder. We can't hear you. Okay. Oh, illegal immigrant backbone of our country? I don't think so, darling. I don't think so. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. They're not the backbone. You know what? I'll tell you what. We did. That's okay. We don't need help with these folks. Let me just tell you something. Let me just tell you something. You know what the backbone of our country? People that came here, and they came here legally. People that came to this country legally, and they worked their ass off, and they've made the country great. That's the backbone. That's the backbone. All right.
Now, that is the answer of a leader. That's the answer of someone who knows what he knows. He's sure of what he knows. He's grounded in fact in American history, and he's not subject to the trends and the opinions that come out of Hollywood. For someone to be so abysmally ignorant to say that illegal aliens are the backbone of this country, it is shocking to think that these people came out of our school systems and will now vote, help decide the future of this country. Illegal aliens are a scourge on this country. Their first act, by definition, is to break our law. They come here, a lot of them take jobs, mostly minimum wage jobs. A lot of them go right on welfare. A lot of them give birth as soon as they get here, so their children will be anchor babies, citizens, and so they and just about everybody they're related to would be able to come here and go immediately on the welfare ranks. Don't tell me it's not true. It is true. Check the facts. The backbone of these countries, of our country, are people, my friends, like you and like me. We work, we hold down jobs, we make careers, we raise families, we pay our taxes, we obey the laws. We live good, decent, moral, honest lives. That is the backbone of any country. And for this pinhead in New Hampshire to stand up and interrupt Donald Trump and say illegal aliens are the backbone of our country shows that the pinhead doesn't have a clue about what the country's about, has no values, doesn't value the law, but is probably repeating what some other pinhead said. I love the fact that Trump shut her up quickly. The stakes are too high in this election, my friends. America is teetering on the brink. The stakes are too high to allow pinheads to go unchallenged and uncorrected. Now, speaking of pinheads, one of them is the political columnist for Time magazine. This jackass's name is Joe Klein. Now, he purports to be a journalist. He sat down to interview Hillary Clinton, listened to some of the hard-wrenching, serious questions that he asks Hillary Clinton. He's really going to hold her feet to the fire. Listen to what he asks. He says, quote, "I was watching you in Iowa last week, and you were working so hard, and by the way, really well. And then I saw what happened last night, and it occurred to me it's never easy for you in politics." Then Joe Klein says the following, quote, "I love the ad of you and your lifetime support for children's issues and seeing you with those pictures going all the way back. If you were to talk to that young woman in that photograph about what you know now and what the difference is, what would you say to her?" Then Joe Klein hits her with another hard question. He says, "One of the surprising things to me, seeing you last week for the first time in a while, actually on the stump, was how passionate you've gotten. Was there a moment when that kicked in, or did it just evolve? I mean, you used to be really serious." Or then he says, "I had a colleague way back in the dawn of history who said the big difference between Bill and Hillary Clinton is that he's a Baptist and she's a Methodist. In the last couple of weeks, for the first time, I think you've really been talking about your faith." So the liberal media will not ask Hillary a question that's not a cream puff. That's not a marshmallow. That's why she's doing as well as she is. We'll take a break and we'll be back.
Howdy, folks. Have you ever thought about having your own backyard chickens? Now you have a source for certified organic, no GMO, no soy chicken feed. HappyHens.biz can even deliver, or you can pick up. Call me, Tim, at 303-829-5948, or go to happyhens.biz for pricing and ingredients. At happyhens.biz, we love happyhens.biz, or call us at 303-829-5948.
Great Plains Power has been providing reliable electrical power systems in the Rocky Mountain area since 1992. Our systems rely on the sun to help make you self-reliant for your power needs. Solar energy can be scaled to fit any situation, from complete power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on standalone power, but we have extensive experience with utility interactive systems as well. Custom-tailored capabilities as modest emergency lighting all the way to commercial-scale power. Great Plains Power is a full-service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom-designed system, and parts for do-it-yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal.
Thank you. Well, we had a pretty good night in Iowa last night, coming in second in a state where Trump wasn't supposed to have a chance 2 months ago. In fact, 6 months ago. As I recall, he was going to be out of the race by now. Thank you.
Full of grace and truth. John bore witness of him and cried out, saying, "This was he of whom I said, He who comes after me is preferred before me, for he was before me." The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 14 and 15. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. This is the America News Network. Since the uniformed people in Greeley ask everyone to get involved in our community this holiday season, whether it's a toy for a needy child, care package for military members, or giving the gift of life by giving blood, you can make a difference and directly affect someone else's life. This message is from Centus, the uniformed people in Greeley. Call 352-2233. They're on the air because they care. Named one of the most admired outsourcing companies in America. Centus.
Alright guys, welcome back to Riell Truth. I have burdened you with listening to videos of ignorant college students and ignorant liberal voters. So now here comes the yang to the yin. I'm going to give you a really, really bright individual by the name of Ann Coulter. She's speaking at the Trump rally in New Hampshire the day after the Iowa caucus. I'd love to listen to her. Here she goes.
Thank you. Well, we had a pretty good night in Iowa last night, coming in second in a state where Trump wasn't supposed to have a chance 2 months ago. In fact, 6 months ago. As I recall, he was going to be out of the race by now. But now, tonight, we're in Trump country. It's a beautiful night and you look like lovely people, but I gotta tell you, this is a very strange campaign. I've never seen anything like it. Politicians are supposed to make a lot of promises they don't intend to keep. They're not supposed to tell us what they really mean. I've never seen anything like this Donald Trump before. It's weird. Presidential candidates are supposed to suck lots of money from billionaire donors. They're not supposed to self-finance. How is Trump going to know what to do? We'll have no billionaires bossing him around. Candidates aren't supposed to care about what the voters think. They're not even supposed to know what we think. This is weird. I've never seen anything happen like this before. Republican candidates for president are supposed to appeal to evangelical voters by having religious ecstasies on stage. Their pitch to the religious right is not supposed to be, I don't go to church that much. And yet Trump is winning with evangelical voters. It's baffling. It's baffling. The New York Times assured me that evangelicals want someone exactly like them. But now the evangelicals are saying, well, you never asked us, but actually we don't care if he's one of us. We're just hoping he'll leave us alone. And we don't think Donald Trump is going to be sicking the ACLU on us. Presidential candidates just aren't supposed to act like they like Americans more than they like foreigners. Donald Trump is a very strange group Donald Trump is appealing to, this small niche of voters, the American people. Republican presidential candidates are supposed to be lactating over the DREAM Act or the No Child Left in Mexico or Central America Behind Act. Instead, Donald Trump announced he was running for president by giving a speech talking about Mexican rapists. That's when he won me over. Now, I'm not a high-priced political consultant, but I am pretty sure presidential candidates are never supposed to say anything about Mexican rapists. Duke lacrosse team rapists, yes. Fraternity boy rapists, yes. American rape culture, yes. But Mexican rapists, no. In fact, there are a whole list of politically incorrect words you're never supposed to use. Anchor baby, amnesty, natural-born citizen, bimbo, schlonged, a wall. Donald Trump seems to just be going through every single one of them. One by one, he's going to use every politically incorrect word before the end of this campaign. When Donald Trump first said he was going to build a wall on the Mexican border, people were shocked. Not shocked that he was going to build a wall, but shocked to discover there still is a border with Mexico. There's never been a campaign like this. There has never been a candidate like this. It's no wonder young people today say they don't want to run for president when they grow up. Except Marco Rubio. He still wants to run for president when he grows up. The experts in Washington had this all figured out, and this is not the way it's done. They keep saying he's not following the rules. Stop him. Stop this. You know when the Washington establishment is going to figure out what's going on? I say about halfway through President Trump's inaugural address. Then they'll finally see what's happening. And imagine what a Trump presidency will be like. I am more excited than Lindsey Graham in a fabric store. Think of it, he will have just finished giving his inaugural address. He'll go to the big inaugural parade, the viewing stations with Melania and his beautiful kids, and watch all the marching bands. Milford probably has a great marching band. You guys should send it. It's going to be fantastic. And then we'll have the Trump presidency, which I think, like this campaign, is going to be like nothing we've seen before. I think he may be putting the interests of Americans above the interests of plutocrats who want to dissolve our borders and get cheap labor. I think he's going to give up on making bad deals for Americans. It's unprecedented. When President Trump's Attorney General comes to him and says, should we give the most powerful assault weapons available to Mexican drug lords? I think he'll say, no, I don't think so. When the Secretary of Defense comes to President Trump and says, we have a deserter in Afghanistan. He's left his unit. We've already lost 5 men looking for him. Should we invite his parents to a ceremony in the Rose Garden? Have the father give a few words in Arabic and have you describe the deserter as having served with distinction? President Trump will say, no, I don't think so. And when the Secretary of HHS says there's no money left in Social Security and Medicare because all of these immigrants are bringing their elderly relatives and they've bankrupted the system, should we cut back on Americans' Medicare and Social Security? President Trump will say, no, I don't think so. When the Director of Immigration comes to President Trump and says, since 9/11, we've admitted 1.5 million Muslims. 90% of whom immediately go on welfare, and some percentage of whom kill Americans in horrible terrorist attacks. Should we keep admitting 1 million Muslim immigrants every 10 years? That's exactly what President Trump is going to say. And then when the director of immigration says, Senator Marco Rubio has a bill that would bring in 33 million immigrants over the next 10 years, or 25 New Hampshires. Should we keep replacing Americans with Somalis, Pakistanis, Hondurans, and Mexicans? President Trump will say exactly that. So I say to you, when Fox News, National Review, and the one...
All right, folks, I've got to stop there because we're about to hit a commercial, but because I'm a nice guy and who loves you more than I do, I just posted this video on my Facebook page, Riell Truth Radio. Go there, you can watch the whole thing. Share it with people. I mean, this is common sense. It's logic. It's patriotism. Those things are so out of fashion today. And if you ask college kids today what they think about any of this, they'll look at you like you're speaking Mongolian because they don't know anything that's not Snooki or Angelina Jolie. We'll take a break. More Riell Truth ahead. All right, guys, all done for the week. Please share this video. Go to my Facebook page, Riell Truth Radio. Lots of good stuff there. Enjoy it. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Can even deliver, or you can pick up.